I make over $20,000 per month as a day trader using this insanely simple strategy that doesn't overcomplicate trading. So in this video, I'm going to give you the exact strategy from start to finish that's going to help you get to your first 10K month as a trader. So this strategy is insanely simple. It's one of the easiest strategies that I've ever used. And the reason why is because it only involves two indicators, VWAP and your EMA. So go ahead and add your volume weighted average price. Come back to your indicators tab and add your moving average exponential. These are the only two things that you need on your chart for this strategy. And by the end of this video, you will have a full understanding of exactly how to use these indicators so that you're not taking positions that you just have zero clue what's going on through them. I want you to know exactly where you are at all times, where to place your stop, where to place your targets, all the structure that you're most likely missing in your current trading strategy. So the first thing we got to do, I'm going to show you the setup of these indicators, and then I'm going to show you how to actually trade them using a strategy. So first things first, let's go over to VWAP. Now, I like to keep my VWAP line blue. I want you to go to the settings tab here and turn off your upper band 1, lower band 1, and bands fill 1. This is going to leave you with this blue line right here. Now, very confusing. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the EMA color to something completely different. Change it to yellow or blue, right? These are the only two lines that you will need on your chart. I don't use MACD, RSI, none of that garbage, right? I only use indicators that rely on actual price action. So now that we have those two indicators on our chart, we have the setup fully complete. All we need to do is actually learn the strategy, right? This is the hardest part because what most people are going to do is they're going to tell you to throw these indicators on a chart and then tell you to just like short or long below and with absolutely no understanding of how the market actually works. So what I'm going to teach you today is not only how these indicators work as a strategy, but I'm going to actually teach you exactly how the market is looking to react at these levels. So that way you know exactly what's happening every single time you touch this VWAP line or the EMA as well. So for example, here, we want to make sure that no matter what position we are taking it whenever we have EMA and VWAP together. We don't want to take just this EMA break or just this VWAP break. We want to make sure that we have both together at the same time. That way we can get the most amount of confluence possible. So the more amount of confirmation that we get at these levels, the higher confidence that we will have in this trade. So that's rule number one. And rule number two has to have some type of price action confirmation of your position before you enter. Now, what that means is you need to have some form of wick or some form of confirmation of price action telling you that we are guaranteed going to go in the direction that you want us to go. So for example, here we have ourselves some long sell side wicks. What does this mean? These three long wicks here are telling us something very important. It tells us that we have buying pressure and we are looking to actually continue to the upside, right? So think about it literally from like a candle anatomy perspective, right? When we are like zooming all the way in, think about what this candle is doing. It's coming all the way down here. And then buyers are actually pushing this candle all the way back up for us to close at this point. So that means that buyers are really, really present here. So we can know that based on these three wicks, we're most likely wanting to continue higher. Now, this second area also has these wicks as well. So we know based on these wicks that we're most likely going to get a move to the upside, right? We also fail to continue this trend to the downside. So because we fail that trend and we end up just pushing up anyways, the next thing that we'd be looking for is an EMA and VWAP break, right? So we know that first off, once we have these price action confirmations, we're pretty much set for a position to go our way. Now, as soon as we get that EMA and VWAP break, we're going to end up going long. We go long right here on the break of those two lines. For your target, you're most likely going to target highs all the way up here and let that position run. Now, for your stop loss on these positions, we're not going to just set our stop loss to the other side of VWAP or the EMA just yet. Instead, what we're going to do, since we're breaking these two lines, is we are going to go ahead and set our stop loss underneath the candle lows. So as you can see, these previous lows right here are where we're going to put our stop loss. Think about it this way. It's your point of invalidation. So if this position comes all the way down, where would I feel like this position is not going to work anymore? Well, look at here. So if this candle comes all the way down and ends up breaking this and continues that structure to the downside, we're probably not going to continue in that direction anymore, right? So as you can see, if you did hold this position to its entirety, this ends up becoming an almost 5-to-1 risk to reward trade. It's absolutely insane. Now, let's take a look the next time that we actually come and cross this VWAP and EMA at the same time. Now let's just keep scrolling here to see exactly when this next position would be taken. As you can see, this is pre-market, and here's where the market ends up opening the next day. So as you can see, we have VWAP and the EMA very close together at this point. Now, what's really, really good to highlight here is this buy pressure right here. If we can take highs and break both the EMA and VWAP, we can most likely have an insane position here. So this next candle that comes out ends up blasting through the EMA and VWAP and highs. So the moment that we break these highs, I am in, and my stop loss is going to go on the other side of this previous candle low. Now for target, you can target this high up here at pre-market high, or you can target all the way up at post-market high right there. Now this target will most likely hit here. I don't really know if it hits or not. There we go. So this target ends up hitting absolutely perfectly. And if you let this position go, let's see how far it ends up going. So this position ends up flying until we change trend all the way up here at 567. So holding this trade for as long as you possibly can, this becomes a 3-to-1 risk to reward trade guaranteed. Now, remember, like I said, we take these positions once we are at VWAP and the EMA together. So just these two positions alone are both huge winning positions. So that is the first strategy of how to trade using the VWAP and EMA. But there's another strategy that's just as powerful, and if not more powerful, that I use on a daily basis. And this second strategy is the break and retest of the VWAP. Now, VWAP is typically going to be on the inside of the EMA. So as you can see, the EMA is on the outside, VWAP is on the inside. So what we tend to see happen is if we have really strong price action and really strong trend, we are going to see the EMA get broken and then see the VWAP get broken. Now, what needs to happen at this point in time, since we're not seeing a break in both really close together, we need to see some sort of retest for us to guarantee that this price action is going to continue going our way. So what this looks like here is going to be something along the lines of this. We retest VWAP. This wick right here shows that we have selling pressure and that we're not looking to continue higher. Now, the only way that I can confirm that this position is going to go my way is if we break lows, right? If we break this previous candle low, I can almost guarantee that this position will go my way. And so what I'll do is I'll set my stop above that previous candle high like we talked about before, and your target ends up going to these lows down here at the very least. Now, you can hold this position for a lot longer, and I'm actually going to show you a strategy to hold your positions a lot longer at the end of this video. But as you can see, if you hold this all the way until the very end, this ends up being a 5-to-1 risk to reward trade. This strategy is insanely powerful, and it works so often. So here's another example of this. We can go to the next day and we can see the exact same thing happen the next day. It's quite literally a repeat. We have ourselves a break in the EMA and VWAP. We come up to retest both, we fail that retest, and we break lows. It's the same setup, the same strategy over and over and over again. And honestly, it becomes literally like a rinse and repeat, and it's just so easy. So here's another really good example of that system. We come up, we break the EMA, we break the VWAP, we're retesting VWAP with strength, and these buyers are showing a lot of pressure. So what's the next thing that we need to see happen? Well, immediately we need to see some sort of price action confirmation. If you don't understand price action confirmations, just drop down a comment in the comment section just to let me know that you don't really understand price action to a T, because I can break down the whole thing in a video. This is the thing that has changed my entire trading game. The entirety of my trading has been changed by just understanding how the market actually works, because an indicator on its own is not going to be that powerful. Now, when we take a look here, we can see that we end up breaking highs, and we have our stop loss again below the previous candle lows. Now, to let this strategy rock, I would probably target right here at these previous highs. This would be a 2-to-1 risk to reward roughly, but you can let the trade run a lot longer as well, depending on where the overall target is. As you can see, this ends up continuing and continuing all the way up until 562, where we start to have a trend flip. So here at this point, we're at a 4-to-1 risk to reward trade. This strategy is so insanely simple. It's just the same thing over and over again every single day. Now, what you need to know is how to actually take these positions and hold them as long as humanly possible. What a lot of you guys are probably going to do with this strategy is you're going to enter a position and you're going to exit way too early. Well, I want to stop that from happening as soon as possible. And so the easiest thing for me to do is to show you exactly how structure is continuing, right? So what you can do is you can hold your EMA all the way up until we end up crossing the EMA to the opposite direction. That is option number 1. Or what we can do is every time we make a previous higher low, we can continue to drag this stop loss up below that previous low. So for example, if we are in this position here and it is flying as we continue, right? Every time we make a new low, what we're going to do is we're going to drag this stop loss below that previous low. We made another new low down here. So what we'll do is drag our stop loss below that previous low, right? We make another low here. We drag our stop loss below that previous low. And so what that allows you to do is it allows you to hold all the way until this point instead of getting stopped out early like you most likely would have. Holding a position just like this makes you at least 2-to-1, 3-to-1, 4-to-1 profits without having to sacrifice your move because you don't know where to exit. So this strategy is insanely simple, makes me over $20,000 per month, and I don't have to really think about my trading much. It's the same process every single day. And of course, if you're watching this video and you're not really understanding how to actually trade profitably and consistently, you're most likely lacking either one of two things, structure or psychology. So if you need help to actually scale your trading and stop being stuck at where you're at, stuck losing money, stuck being afraid of the market, and just overall not really understanding your trading, well, I've worked with over 400 students. As you can see, all the results are popping up on the screen right now. And if you're interested in applying and seeing if you're a good fit to work with me one-on-one, you can just click the link down in the description. It's the first link. You can apply for Simply Options Academy. I hope to see you inside. And this is the best video on my channel popping up on the screen right now. Should be somewhere in the middle. I want you to watch it because if you are struggling and you genuinely need help, I'm going to give you my entire system in this video right here, and it is so good. If you don't learn from this and if you're not profitable after watching this video, I don't know what to tell you. See you guys all later. Adios, everybody. Goodbye.